This is a public service announcement for everyone watching. Wear your damn mask. Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is EJ Marino and I'm so excited to dive into a brand new video with you. Yes, we're talking about the new episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 5. Everyone, before I start this video, I want to give a special shout out to Chi Devane. She is currently in the hospital right now, not doing too well. So I'm going to have links down in the bottom as well as putting up a graphic right now so you can find out how you can donate to our Queen Chi Devane. She is a big part of our Drag Race family, amazing in her All-Star season, hell, amazing on her own solo season. So I just want to say, Chi Devane, I hope you feel better. We are thinking of you and sending you all the love. You know, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This episode of Drag Race was fairly boring. This close to the finale, with all of these amazing queens and a comedy challenge, I expected to be in love with this episode, but I was pretty bored for most of it. Even the challenge itself, while I did laugh out loud a couple times, I just overall wasn't gagged and gooped. Even the runway, a freaky deaky fun club kid inspired runway, and I was just like, oh, that's it? So yeah, I'm just a little, kind of let down with this episode. I want to know how you guys feel as well. Was this one of the first episodes you were like, oh, okay, I don't know, just the queens are good, the challenge was okay. There's just something about this that did not connect with me. I hope I'm not alone. I hope I'm not being too shady. Let me know how you feel, guys, down below. So the episode starts off with Cracker playing some mind games on everyone. It's for 2 seconds, but she's like, I was so sad I had to make this decision. And everyone's like, what? And she's like, oh, I'm getting rid of Alexis. And they're like, girl, what are you talking about? And I thought that was a cute little banter, but you know deep down inside, she wanted to get rid of Blair. I think all of them felt that way. Even Shay talked about it, that was a more personal choice to vote for Alexis. And now we found out, if you're on the internet in the past couple weeks, that India Farrow was lying anyway. So all of this drama that Alexis dealt with, she should have been in the top 4, maybe even in the top 3, but some stupid petty campaigning drama got in the way of that. I'm a little upset, hashtag justice for Alexis. But anyways, getting into this episode, starting off, I was just like, well, this is a cute little intro. We're getting our queens, then we get the challenge that it's a stand-up comedy challenge, and I was here for all of that. I was just, and we're even getting a shady moment of, I'm gonna pick the order. That usually doesn't come into effect for anything. Cracker's allowed to pick the order that everyone goes in their stand-up routine in, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, and other than last season where we had Redacted Pie going up before Jada Essence Hall and really threw her off, the order of queens going is just never, it's a non-factor. It's always a discussion for the table little moment. Oh, I'm picking you first, I'm picking you second, and it never bothers anyone, especially in this episode. The order, I think, and no matter what, if Shay would have went first, if Blair would have went last, it was still the same result. A pretty meh stand-up show. So yeah, this little drama was cute at first, and then I'm like, okay, now when is the big bad moment? And then they're getting dressed in the workroom and it's still nothing happening. And then they're getting ready to go on to the show, and they're doing their makeup, and I'm like, oh, a tragedy mirror moment. No, none of that. This whole episode just had a lackluster feeling. The queens start to prepare their stand-up routines and have some moments with Ross Matthews and our guest judge, Jane Karowski, who I absolutely adore. She was pretty funny on this episode. She offered something. As much as I don't love Ross, and Ross giving them the note, oh, you should work on your punchline. Girl, you've never landed a punchline, so how you telling them to land one? But overall, I thought this was a cute little moment. Those two had too much back and forth banter that I was like, hey, it's not about you guys, it's about the queens. Yeah, they overall helped them. I think Juju went in and, she had her confidence, she was there. Blair was a little nervous, but they kept making her laugh. Blair kept making them to laugh in the room. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and that really didn't translate to the stage. And then you have Shay who's going in, and she is just kind of nervous. The whole episode is Shay with her nerves, that she's not ready for this, that she's not ready to talk about the season 9 incident and all that jazz. It really doesn't really affect her in the challenge, because I thought she was fairly okay, but it was this moment here of them going, girl, just have fun, be yourself. Let us into your life. And she does. And I actually think these notes actually helped her out. It was one of the more refreshing moments to see them, you know, like, oh, here's the back and forth. Like an opposite where they were like, hey, Cracker, we're not loving your stuff. And then Cracker goes up there and nails it 100%. It's a very interesting moment where sometimes I do think the judges kind of help them, guide them, you know, with the assistants. And sometimes I'm like, you did nothing. Like, it's hard to do stand-up, especially like testing material without the audience, kind of nervous in front of a big celebrity. So this was a weird little moment of like, I get it, but also do better, because I wanted this to be more entertaining. Jane Karowski was on an episode of Drag Race and I was bored. That's just a common theme through this review of me going, what the hell is happening? So we get to the runway and RuPaul comes out in a dress that was as boring as the first 45 minutes of this episode. Ru looks gorgeous and stunning and blah, 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 all that jazz. Just this dress, this is what you wear? Like, I hope her finale gown is a goop, because it needs to be, because after like this week and like some of her like things, the whole only good outfit this whole season is that big poofy promise dress. Still my favorite, still the best. I want to know how you guys feel about Ru's looks this season, as much as it makes me think of like when Pheromone a couple seasons ago was just like, I don't know, they're all the same, there's not much diversity. There wasn't much this season. We are now at the stand-up comedy routine. Jujubee goes first, and it's pretty funny. She's a little rough at first. It takes her a moment to get into the vibe, but once she's there, she actually made me laugh out loud. She had the dumb blonde joke, which was pretty good. I actually enjoy that. I think her and Shay made me laugh out loud the most, where I do think Cracker was the funniest. Like, I consistently enjoyed her stuff, but Juju as the opener, I thought was fairly strong, had a good look, you know, had a good attitude towards her. It just was a rough start, and I think that's what kept her from winning this challenge, because she was really good. Her runway was really good. It just was that like, it took her a while to get into it, and I know stand-up and hell, even making videos like this, it's hard. You got to get into your flow, you got to get into your pacing, and she does by the end, and I enjoy that. We then go to Blair and her guest star, her notes. Oh, I felt so bad for Blair, just kind of constantly going back to her notes. It was also edited pretty strangely, and they kept making it a thing. I thought, you know, truly, you could have just edited out all the awkward page flips and we would have never known. So that's kind of one of my issues with it, but her jokes weren't that funny. Michelle was right when, you know, you did get a little bit mean and not as sassy as we would have liked you to be. Overall, Blair did so blah, but in this whole blah episode, she kind of was on brand, at least for this whole theme. I just was like, okay, Blair, I expected something more. Even though she's not a comedy queen, the queens all kept telling me all episode, well, Blair has been so funny this season, Blair has been so funny. Where are the jokes then? We then get to Cracker, who wakes up that audience after Blair's performance. Cracker comes in like a firecracker, just so entertaining, so funny. She has a lot to offer here. Her jokes are one after another after another. It's so well paced, so well energized. I just really liked Cracker in this episode. I thought she looked good. She had the good energy to her. It truly was kind of nice to see someone actually get up there and feel confident in themselves. Like Juju and Shay, who do fine in this episode. They lack that oomph that Cracker had when she got there. I really enjoyed Cracker. I thought she did so good in this challenge. Little claps for you, girl. Little claps for you. And then we go to Shay, who looks great, who is a fine performer. She does okay. There's just kind of a blah factor, which is almost how I feel about her runway, that it was okay, but just there's a high bar being set, and she was just at the bar. She wasn't even under the bar. She was still doing great, but right now we need excellent, and her stand-up did not have that. Shay made me laugh, and I like that she kind of came to the conclusion about the season 9 stuff, and you know, I'm trying to tell my doctor that, like, or my therapist, that rose petals are my trigger. I feel like the Coming to America joke, it was all really good. It was there. There was something there. It just did not connect with me. I was a little disappointed by that. Let's quickly go through those runways. Juju was a freak. This outfit was a gag. So fun. Blair, ooh, with masked fashion in 2019. Like, this was filmed way before all the craziness of this year. So, hey, Blair, good job. Her outfit was fine. Wasn't in love with it. Then we have Cracker, who I thought Cracker gave me it. As soon as she came out, I said, well, you clearly won this week with the Plague Doctor, which is, again, on brand with the mask. Ooh, felt a little too real there. Ooh, got a little chill there. But yeah, her outfit was good. That Morticia Addams, like, kind of Cher, kind of zombie hoe. I loved that. And then we had Shay's look, who Shay looked great, was fine. It just wasn't a lot. Like, I think her freak outfit should have been that one with the wings and that one that they all called a little crafty. That should have been the freak look, because this was good. This was Club Kids. It was 90s. It was rave. I got it. It just wasn't elevated, and I can't believe I agreed with Ross for once on the runway, but he was right. It just wasn't as the top tier we expect from Shay. Cracker is the winner of this week's challenge. No surprise to anyone. She had a good runway. She had a good challenge. They go back to deliberate, and it's pretty boring. Again, the theme of this episode is I'm not gagged and gooped. The deliberations are fine. You can kind of tell she's already made up her mind. You can tell the queens are trying to be like, save me, get rid of the one who hasn't won one. And I understand that completely. I think Blair tried to do a decent job of like, well, it's not about wins, it's about who is here. And I'm like, girl, shush, shush. But yeah, this was a pretty okay kind of deliberation. They go to the voting, and that's pretty good. So we go to their, like, at the end, Cracker is about to lip sync. Who is her lip sync assassin? Kennedy Davenport. Oh my goodness, I was so happy Kennedy came out. Her and Miss Cracker were gonna lip sync to a badass song, and it was Fancy by Reba McEntire. And look, I like me some Reba. I'm a Tremors fan. She's a queen in that movie. I just... To go with the theme of my review is, this is the song before we get to the epic finale. It's a Reba McEntire, like, slow little ditty bop, where you could tell Kennedy was like, y'all gave me this? I can't be the dancing diva of Texas? You gave me this? Oh my goodness, I was so let down by this lip sync. I was so let down by the song choice, but Cracker does win because Cracker knows all of those words. This was a pretty lip sync heavy song where there was no stunts and shenanigans. It's all about the lip sync, and she did well. She wins, not surprised there. So now it is Cracker's turn to get rid of somebody. Who does she pick? It's obviously Blair. She was the obvious one to go home. I'm a little upset that they all felt so sad about it, and they all got around her, were very warm to her. I love how they really surrounded Blair and was just like, we love you, you're awesome, but it was her time to go. This was a pretty not shocking, like, win, and this is also a pretty not shocking, like, top three. We have Jujubee, Cracker, and Shay. Each three of these queens are my three favorite. They were my pick for the top since the beginning. I would have maybe put Alexis instead of Cracker, but Cracker at the end was just pulling in those wins. She was doing so good. So I really like this top three. I want to know, out of these top three, who you want to win. I'm personally going for Jujubee, but I want to know your choice to win All Stars 5. Alright everyone, that was it for my review of this episode of Drag Race. I wish I was gagged, gooped, and stunned by it, but I was pretty bored, just wanting to get to this review, just want to get to this finale and see who the winner is. I'm currently watching Drag Race Canada. I don't think I'm going to review it because I'm a little behind on it now, but I'm having a good time. I would love a Drag Race break. I want this one to be over so I can just go back to watching like season 2 and 3 on Hulu and having a good time. Alright guys, what did you guys think of this review? What do you guys think of Drag Race this episode, this season? Let me know all your feelings down in the comments below. Tell me who you want to win. Give me hashtag Team Shay, Team Cracker, or Team Juju. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week. Alright guys, give me a thumbs up before you go, and make sure you guys tell me all your feelings down below.